uzama ukukhuluma first of all ukuthi sifike njani esimeni esibizo test lokuthi indaba sisesimini esiso test lendlela esingazi cabanga ukuphuma ku situation esikiyo lokuthi ama implications endlela lezi acho. So oqala ngifuna sizwisise something ngeZimbabwe. Ngo-2016 satshelwa ukuthi kuzafakwa ama-bond note eZimbabwe. Ngazi bayakhumbula? Ama-bond note lawana kwathiwa azaba yi-1:1 le-US dollar. Sabizwa abantu abaningi sila ngabizwa kwathiwa sizokhuluma ngama-bond note lawana. Saxwayisa ukuthi I know ufakwe bond note yona ngoba akusona impela. Kodwa bona abayifakayo sicela ukuthi bebe disciplined. Bengaqali ukuprinta imali eningi kakhulu ugcine kusiba nemali eningi ichase very few commodities. Ngoba siyakwazi ukuthi imali ngabaningi kakhulu igijimisa ama commodities amalushwana kuba inflation. Base besitshela ukuthi no, vele imali esayiprinta thina ilingana le loan esithenjiswe e250 million. Awulaka ngesebenzisa wabona beqala baprinta ama bond note azange bebe maningi kakhulu. Bakhona ama bond note esikomeni sakho abalawo abaphethe baningi ukhona ongalayo. What we realized is i-bond note ayizange igcwale imemetheki. Yaprintwa bazama ukusibonisa khona kwayo ukuthi bazalanda 250 million yakuqala laleyo yesithiwa abayitholayo. As a result ivalue yakhona ayizange depreciate kakhulu for the 2 years eyayikhona leyo. Kodwa kwasokusenzakala something esasingayinanzelele ku background sonke which we were not really aware of. Bathi bayenze bond note ibelushwana benjalo basebeqalisa instead of ukuprinta imali baqalisa ukuyicreate. So there was a lot of creation of money in Zimbabwe. Imali yayicreatwa ngecomputer. Yayicreatwa ngecomputer and yayicreatwa every month. Nxa kuthiwa amanesi ahola ama-teacher ahola ayengaphiwa i-cash anti awula muntu wayethi nxa isiyahola ephiwa i-bond note in cash or whatever. Imali yakhona yayivele kuyithi titi efonini ibuye as a fictitious balance ebisemoyeni so kumele uyayithatha ebhenki. Now we have to realize ukuthi imali leyi first of all yayisemoyeni anti yayingarepresent anything eqithiwe. Imali leyi yayi-based on i-real gross transfer system esibiza sithi i-real time gross transfer, i-RTGS. So imali leyi yiyo imali yamemetheka yagcwala. Now inkinga yemali leyi ukuthi ayibonakali. Ibonwa ngumuntu osemsebenzini oyiholayo. Thina abanye bonke emphakathini asiyiboni. So ingazi memetheka ibe ningi akusoze kusihluphe ngoba sinjani asiyiboni. Awunanzelelayo lokuthi no imali ayibonakali le. Now because of i-challenge esilayo ikakhulu is regrettable to say ku ruling class wanton expenditure lokutshona bezidlela kube ibasha sino nxa sesifuna ukudla singadlala phana ku bond eprintwayo sizabani asidleni nxa sifuna ukudla as much as we want si increase ama balance esilawo lawa emabank. So there was a serious increase in izimali lezi ezisemoyeni esibiza sithi ngama RTGS. So by right imali le kwakumele ilingane lento esikwanisa ukuziproducer elizweni and imali vele njalo imali ilingana lokho eliproducer oqala ngokuthi nxa ule mali wakwanisa ukuyayitshintsha for igolide bekunika igolide lapho ngoba imali yakho inayiphakathi kwevote. So money is supposed to be equal to the amount of commodities that you are producing. So i-RTGS leyana kwakumele ibe equal to izinto esiziproduce and izinto esiziproducer thina sasizivalue ngani nge-US dollar. You have to realize ukuthi i-RTGS aso bond aso US dollar. So silama currency angu-3 eZimbabwe. Sile RTGS elokhu ibizwa kuthiwa i-US dollar. Sile bond esizwisisayo ukuthi aso US dollar. Siphinde sibe le foreign currency which we sum up sithi US dollar kodwa include orand, opula, obani bana ngithi. Right. So now i-RTGS suddenly was no longer equivalent to i-US dollar le bond yayikhona. So kule RTGS engaka so yayilokhu ivuthela. Kule bond encane engaka kule US dollar futhi encane engaka so. So now what started to happen, you know, abantu ebabelokhu befuna ukuthenga izinto phandle babethi nxa bengathenga ukuthi no but wena into nazo lapha ku-US dollar yakho sesizincane kakhulu compared to i-RTGS le enkulu. So asoze sikwanise ubelokhu sikunika i-staff based on i-RTGS balance yakho. So abaningi babethi nxa besayazama uswipe amakhadi ngaphandle ukuthi hayi ikhadi lakho lisasebenza and ikhadi lakho lisasebenza ngenxa ukuthi i-RTGS yayisingaka i-US dollar yethu isincane singaka. So ebhenki walokutshela ukuthi ule US dollar bengakutshela ukuthi i-US dollar kona ibond kumbe yini. Kwesinye isikhathi bengathaba uzothatha $250 ugijima eBarclays uyothatha cash and nxa bethi bayithola. Now what is the problem with that? I-RTGS isingaka ilokhu ikhula every month nxa ukuthi abantu bahola umangunju uyathi ikhula. Every month nxa kuthiwa kufuneka imali ye-campaign uyathi ikhula. So now we moved away from printing money to creating money. But the clever part was this money was invisible. We all could not see it. But kwasokufika ukuthi abantu ababefuna ukuthenga phandle kwakungase yithi kuphela sifuna ukudlula sithenga something nxa udlule eGoli kumbe ko-KFC kwaqalisa ukuthi kufunakala ukuthi uthenge abantu be-production now ngoba i-RTGS yabo yayise-Reserve Bank yayingasalingani le-US dollar babelayo. I-Reserve Bank yasebathi ukuthi athina sela US dollar bathi ana US dollar njani thina i-RTGS anini bathi lokhona phela ngumoya mana mpitshana. But guys, no, but we cannot lose out profitability. I'm losing out more than imali ngithola. No, ngcono ngenze ngiyedinga i-US dollar kula abantu abalayo ku-parallel market. So if you are parallel market, abantu parallel market bathi no, thina silayo imali engawo ngeprice oyifunayo. Basithi no problem izayidouble. But consider double. But double. But still ayikwana not to triple. Because you know from the production yakhe ikhwelana. So wasesi no problem nanza i-tripler when amphatheli US engifuna. So umuntu ona bese i-triple imali lana isitshintsha ke i-value parallel market i$1 isisiba i-1.3 kumbe 1.5. Kodwa as soon as ethola umtshini wakhe sephuma ku market lwana usesele le mali eningi osokumele ithengise back. So uzabise le rate ayibisela. So izahlala lokhu 1.5. Ungena omunye othengisa indlu. Umuntu alethi no indlu yami la ngiyithengisa $30,000. Eyithengisela umuntu ole connection ye methodology yo create imali yakhe. Ethi $30,000 mina ngilayo. Ethola ngiza kufile i-RTGS angaso i-RTGS times 5. Ethi no problem. Times 5 ngiyakunika 150,000. Tata TT 150. Yena sesiya ku parallel market. Uyakwazi ukuthi uthe times 5 ngiza 30,000. Setshela abafana bonke labathengisa kuzonini. Ngithengelana ama-US dollar wonke lingawathenga. Ngiwathenga times 5. So i-rate sisuka from times 3 sisiya ku times 5. Inxa uzongena umuntu lo wantu. But usephuma naye futhi. Isisala futhi kubani? Iku5. Now i-problem esuke ibe khonapho na. Wonke omunye umuntu olandelayo usesebenza nge-rate yabantu labantu asebenzani RTGS. Yabo? So we created this big bubble. Created it for a very long time. From the time siqalisa ukuholisa abantu imali eziningi ezazidlula more than $400. Imali ekona sasingalayo. I-bond not value ingakabi khona lokuba khona. Sase siqalisile ukuyenza imali yakhe. And the only way imali yana iyayireducewa ngayo ukuthi kube labantu abathengisa itobacco, labantu abathengisa igolide, labantu abathengisa ama-diamond. Nxa bengaletha ke imali yabo sesithi no zwanini lingagijimi liyethenga abantu laba bezizothatha imali kithi RBZ saninika thina. So what we do ku-fuel siyathatha umuntu othengisa i-fuel sithi no sizakunika thina imali yokuthenga i-fuel. Sikunike i-hard earned currency enengabantu betobacco uhambe uyethenga i-fuel and si-create umoya lwa. Bese right now some bethenga i-fuel no problem. Wena usuthatha imali lana usiyathenga i-fuel ukuzothengisela mina but ngithenga ngani? RTGS. Asithenga nge-bond. Most of us RTGS we have to be very careful to separate the bond from the RTGS. Because sithenga i-RTGS total nxa isebele RBZ wathi uthi right sengithengisile i-fuel yonke leya nansi RTGS but umoya awuna lutho sikumele siyedinga enye futhi US dollar from elsewhere sibanike futhi. So base create a process of draining foreign currency to perpetuate i-system yona le e-RTGS yokwelokhu esitransferelana izimali. Now it has come to a situation where ibhaluni lakho selilikhulu kakhulu okuyimali okuphathi kuncane. Now i-import bill yethu is so high ngenxa yokuthi thina singabantu we've got to a point where we are no longer able to produce. Angikwazi ukuhamba njani kudala sasikwazi ukuzilimela sizenzela konke kodwa we are now importing as much as 20 to 40 million worth of soya beans every month. Sesi-importa nama-toothpick. Ungahamba ku-KFC ama-service abhale.co.za. Sesi-importa le-flour. Into sesingazenza. So everyone is always looking for foreign currency. And we're really not sure why. So as long as we are not producing foreign currency ifunakala and ibhaluni lana likhulu. Now, uThulu asengena-ke ofisini. Asesithi bona la the best thing mana ngene ngizithulele. Wangena for sure. Wenza njalo wazithulela waqala wathreaten wathi no, nxa ungena mina ngizakhipha ibond. But ukukhipha ibond does not help much ngoba singathatha amabond wonke lilawa lawa singafihla. Will things change? You know things won't change ngoba vele sonke sekontinue sithenga ngani? Iko cash. So invest ngani iko cash senze izinto iko cash. Singaze sichisa amabond wonke. Ibalance lana ebhaluni yabe lokho ikhona. So uMthulu asesithi no. Abantu bonke vele abafuna i-foreign currency abazigcinele i-foreign currency yabo nxa beyenzi. Lile lingayenziwe izabona la ithatha ngayo. I-RBZ kodwa siza concentrate on ama-essentials. So what that automatically did, everyone else onga-produce onga-exportiyo but only foreign currency so kumele wasiphatheleni. So umuntu anxa sesawuphatheleni uthi useyithenga at times 15 times whatever esifake ngosiphatheleni. What does that do on behalf of the government? It means ukuthi uMthulu usekulele 2 birds, maybe 3 birds with one stone. What has happened? He is now in a position to say i-deficit kahulumende ekhozwe i-reckless expenditure leya yabantu ade bethenga izindlu ama-150 bezidlela besenza isi-reduce in value by almost 500%. Ngoba i-value ye-RTGS isi-reduce 500% ngaphi? Eku-parallel market. So the more abantu belokhu begijima bethenga ama-balance lane i-balloon selikaswenza ukudeflate because sebetshintsha i-balloon umoya we-balloon for into abazithatha okay into abazithatha ngaphi they are changing umoya for real assets, and by that reducing i-deficit uMthulu kade isafa. Not only that, nxa bethenga yena lokhu collector i-2% tax. Ulokhu collect 2% tax uzaze ufike to a point where umoya wonke uzuphele. I-rate ye-US i-foreign currency le-RTGS engilesi 1:150 osiphathelene nazo hayi asathathi thina la. At that point we'll get market stabilization. So wathi bembuza wathi no, the market is going to dollarize itself. Akade kusho khona manje ukuthi kuzazenzakalela kodwa, but what does it mean? It means sonke ebesilama insurance ebesilezimali eziseviweyo ebesile anything esebank imali yana is also going to be likely to depreciate by that amount. But in a reason wazitshela ukuthi but abantu abasebenza ezimali vele bangayi. Hlala kuthiwa unemployment is almost 80%. So abantu abacontribute to insurance they're probably only 10% of the population. So usho ukuthi into lezi zinga-affect ngenye 10%. So ayimana ngibekele ukuzenzala. But he went on today and said okay, but just to protect when abantu bakhona, what do I do? Hambe Afro-Exim Bank wayacela ukuthi ngicela li-guarantee izimali ezikuma RTGS account at 1:1. But the clever thing azange asitshela i-date yakhona ukuthi wa-guarantee up to when. Engathi I'm only guaranteeing izimali ezazikhona up to mhla ka-1 announce monetary policy ezidlula lapho zidliwe i-state. So what we know is there is now a policy that is going to guarantee izimali zalawa abantu abalemali ebhenki. Kodwa siyakwazi abakho baningi kakhulu futhi elizweni abantu ade belemali ebhenki, so akumhluphi kakhulu. So what are we likely to see? Every time ungaba le fixed exchange rate kuyaba le discrepancy in the market, like what we saw osiphatheleni beqalisa ukwenza into zabo la kuqalisa ukuba the situation of too much money chasing few goods. So what do I think will happen mina ku situation esizithola kiyo? First of all, into embona ngani civil society mele ipush. We are here because of certain reasons. Number one reason is the reckless and wanton expenditure, particularly by the elite. Government, important people, and those people who we call prominent in society. Sile appetite very huge for expenditure. The appetite yakona results in domestic leakages of imali. Kulabantu akade bespend imali kulabantu kade betshontsha izimali kobozesa kobo NRZ koma parastatal kobo eZimbabwe and nxa sebetshontshe baqeda bese be disappear and the debt is supposed to be assumed by the government. So government has been assuming so many debts, Zisco, but the people who caused them are just left out. No one knows what happens to them. So that is the first part which has resulted in our debt. Kube sokusiba lezi mali esingazwisi ukuthi ziyangaphi abantu abaqhatshwe lapha lalapha abaphiwa lokhu lalokhu. That has to be plugged. Umthuli has been saying he's plugging these things, kodwa awukabi clear ukuthi into zakho nazingaphi. So I encourage ukuthi kube le study at least of internal financial leakages, ukuthi ama leakages akhona vela ngaphi ukuze we do not repeat them again. Number 2, this has already started being done. I actually talked about this sometime last week. Now, Umthuli is probably going to think of this. We need to protect our savings and incomes abantu. Njani ngokufreeze izimali esemabhenki. It's not fair ukuthi umuntu ube contributor 5 years ku medical aid, all of a sudden akusela mali. Kumbe contributor abonyaratho, all of a sudden akusela mali. So imali zana zinga freezwa at a particular date. I-rate yona ya prescribe nguhulumende ka 1-to-1. Imove with respect to that date. Imali zonke from mhla 1 October we're going to respect them at 1:1. Kodwa lezi ezayenza from mhla 1 October asila choice, asizweni ubuhlungu somkela. That would make not ukuthi all of a sudden kube yabantu abaluza ama savings futhi like 2008. That's the first part. 3, we need to negotiate a liquidity package. Why is it critical to have a liquidity package? Abantu mele bezwisisa ukuthi thini problem yethu kakhulu so currency. Currency is a very small part of our problem, but we realize that we need the liquidity. Say I need imali yokube sithenge izinto nje. Kodwa ayikho. Thina inkinga esilayo kakhulu ukuthi as produce. That is one thing we really have to face. Kulama plaza athathwayo ayele inkomo ezingu 10,000 ezinga kodwa wathesa kusela lutho. Sasizilimela isoya, sasizilimela ayeve chat lapha benza itshengisa ukuthi we import so much. Ungakhangela sesi-import ama-vegetable. My vegetable is exporter, they are worth about 61 million. But we import almost 100, not 10, 100 million worth of vegetables. Into esizlimela. So that is the major part of our challenge. But we cannot focus on that only, but it's a long-term problem. And into kumele zilinywe zivuthwe zivunwe njalo njalo. So in the meantime, we need a stabilization package which is going to foster illiquidity. Ezenza ukuthi kube le mali yokuthi sithenge ngayo. And mina I am suggesting ukuthi imali le mayibe imali evela from ilizwe which we generally trade with the most in South Africa. Imali le mayikhave a significant part of government expenditure. And the government expenditure esithola ikakhulu ngiyani? Nyama wages, ama civil servant, which covers almost 80% of our budget. So now if we can cover 80% of our budget for about 4 months, and we allow production to take place and harvests are done in 3 months until we get to a point where we can be self-financing, this package would be useful. And my estimation is that we need about 10 to 14 billion rands for that. This would allow ukuthi abantu bebe le mali ephuma ku ATM, bebe le mali yokuthenga izinto njalo njalo. So bathi sesikhangele mhla ka 15 sifuna ukubona abantu baholiswa ngani. Most likely bayaholiswa nge-RTGS abanebazachi. So we expect ukuthi beholise ngemali eza maintain i-value, and the closest we have irand. Into endle ngerand ukuthi si-trade kakhulu le South Africa. Imali eveli lulu ukuthola imali ayichabalayo wonke umuntu layo. I-US asi-trade kakhulu layo. Into ezithengwa ku-industry vele azithengwa kakhulu e-US. Kodwa kuthengwa mhlawumbe imchini yabise China yabisifuna ukuconvert to-US. Kodwa by and large we trade mostly in the rand. So ukuthi nxa imali lezana sezifreeziwe, le enyisele ku market kuzaba buhlungu, kodwa kuzamela ukuthi exchange rate i-unpeg u-1:1 ahle anga-recognize officially. Ku-recognize official okona, I think official 1:3 and somewhere there. If some official siyaba 1:10, it means ibhaluni lela elikhulu le-RTGS sehle siba totally deflated. Imali ekhona ku system isilingana le mali which is the electronic. I want to ensure. Now, then the government, yona ngokwayo the industry, something which I think is likely to be seen even as early as next week, has to start doing business in a softer foreign currency that has got at least a semblance of stable value like the rand. So abantu bonke abavalileyo most likely bazavula sebesithi no sesifunani ama-dollar. Abantu bazachema i-dollar sayithetha i-dollar sayithetha then bazathola ithi halfway ground in irand. So we are most likely going to start seeing supermarkets starting to trade in rand, requesting rand or a softer currency. The unfortunate thing is we do not do much trade with Botswana, so most likely it will be the rand. What does this mean? We expect government to also start doing its business in rand. We do not require permission yokusebenzisa rand. Officially adopt the rand. We already use a basket of currencies and it is your choice what you want to use. So I think the pressure on the market is going to push people to make the choice. And we are likely to see the choice being in rand, and we are likely to see the government following suit to also choose rand. Unless if $1 somewhere, isn't it? But we expect this choice is going to be in rand. The next thing, we need to start raising his money from different methodologies. The economy is not going to finance itself. 2% tax layer is about especially during RTGS balance and coolant. But once the RTGS balance deflates, it's no longer as serious as when the RTGS balance is there. We also need to consider taxing from other alternatives. There was talk of taxing the diaspora, though it has not even been officially taken. Ideas like that. So to broaden the tax base. Then there is need to international lines of credit, in US dollars, can they be only used to support essential activities? Interest in fuel, interest in markets, things which support production. And then we need to remove multiple trade barriers. Akusizi ukuthi nxa umuntu engena lento eBhayibheli kuloko umtaxa khona pha. Remove all VAT on productive elements, remove all VAT on raw materials. Ukuze ukwanise ukuthi umuntu nxa producer at a very cheap price and become regionally competitive, thereby encouraging exports, and then you tax the final profit, which makes more sense. Because if you are going to tax me before I even produce, it makes my final product very expensive and non-competitive. So we need to reform the tax structure so that we are able to tax at a place where we're actually going to realize maximum revenue. And then we also need to support and encourage local production. In production here to ayikho. This is where now equation yabantu lapha engena khona. Inkinga ukuthi thina abantu beZimbabwe, in reality and in truth, we are cultured to become labor. That is what we know. Thina sifuna imsebenzi. Yikho sikwaziyo vele anything else we struggle with. You see? That is why it was better would rather go to another place okunemsebenzi like South Africa and so on. We do not know how to create jobs. That is one thing which we really have to understand. And our picture of umsebenzi ugogi tie kumbe ugogi overall cleaning senza, we have forgotten ukuthi umsebenzi is actually the labor of digging and so on. Lokhona sokwas escape sonke. It's even reflected in the increase in universities while polis suffer. Because at poly, that is where you are taught the actual job and doing things. In the university, you are taught to theorize. You see? So we are accustomed to being labor. To the extent that even because some are waiting for this job that is going to come from somewhere. I really don't think those jobs are coming in the short term. Though those jobs are not coming. And in as much as we blame on expenditure elites, in as much as we blame weakness industry, we the people also have a role to play. What is it that we are producing? It does not make sense to me which is best import Amazamba. 90% of our nuts are important. 60% of our milk is important. We import 5 million worth of chewing gum every month. You see? We import tissue. We import toothpicks. So, I don't know, it makes us look as a redundant society which is not able to produce. And I don't really blame us because what we know is being labor. And that is what we aim for. We go to school to get a job. We never go to school to use school to help us produce better. So I think that has to change. That has to change, and we should increase the productive base. And finally, sifuna ukubona i-policy consistency. Asifuna ukukaliswa lokhu kuchintshwe lokhu. It is critical that we start seeing policy consistency abantu bedonsa bonke. Our major challenge, other than the labor, we are a very, very political society, which reduces everything, including to politics. You see? So we struggle to think beyond politics. So everything, we look at it from a political dimension. But I think now we are at a point where we really should all sit down, the state, industry, and the people, and say, what do we want? And where are we going to? Thank you very much.